Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on when you're seeing this video. This particular moment, we are going to look at the area and perimeter of 2D shapes. Okay. So we are looking at area and perimeter of 2D shapes, two-dimensional shapes. And in this particular video, if you look at the previous video, we've done the area and perimeter of a square. And today we are going to look at the area and perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, so grade 6, grade 7, this will serve as a revision because you'll be doing surface area, and grade 6 is also end of year examination. Now, because of ATPs, we call it test. Okay, so area and perimeter of 2D shapes, but looking at a rectangle. Okay, before we start anything, speaking of area, what is an area? In the previous video, I explained area as the amount of space within the perimeters of the 2D shape. The amount of space within the perimeters of the 2D shape. So talking about the area of a rectangle, we are talking about the amount of space within the perimeters of the rectangle. Okay, so explaining that quickly, I have this shape to be a rectangle, and one thing that will benefit you the most is that when dealing with finding the area, the perimeter, the surface area of any given shape or an object, you have to know the properties of that particular shape. Okay, so quickly, the properties of a rectangle: opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. Okay, so opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other. So I can do this here, I can do that here, and also all the angles are right angles. Okay, so knowing all the properties and coming back to area and perimeter, what do we say about it? I first of all, I said that it is the amount of space within the perimeters of the shape. Okay, so talking about that, some of us don't even understand the perimeter very well, but we'll go deeply into that. So I have this particular shape given to me. We are talking about the space that is given here within the perimeters. The perimeter is the distance around that particular shape. Okay, so putting someone here to walk around this particular shape given, this to be a soccer field or a netball court, a volleyball court, whatever. Okay, so the amount that the distance that the person is going to cover is called what? The perimeter. That is the distance around this particular what? Shape that is given to us, the distance around it. So moving from here to here, if it is 8 centimeters, 8 plus this 2 centimeters plus that 8 plus that 2 will give us what? The perimeter. That is the distance around the shape. Okay, but the area is known to be the amount of space within the perimeters of the shape. So if the distance around is the perimeter, then it means that all the sides are closed. So this space that we find here, the netball court within the court, that is what is called what? The area of that particular shape. So we would like to know the area, how to calculate for the area of what? Of a rectangle. Some few years back, not even few years, these days some people still do it. Okay, my grandmother goes to the market and buys me a box of chocolate. Okay, this is how it looks. Okay, upon opening it, I wanted to know the number of chocolates that I'll get in that particular box. So instead of going by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till the end, I decided, okay, how many chocolates do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 chocolates. The number of chocolates by the side, I have 1, 2, 3. 3 chocolates. Let's see something. If you multiply 5 by the 3, we get 15. Okay, so this side, that is the length, multiplied by what? The breadth, will give us 15. And if we count the number of chocolates here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We also get 15. So in finding the area of a rectangle, we go by the formula which says that in finding the area of a rectangle, it is the length times the breadth. L times B. Length times the breadth. Okay, so since this is capital L, L times B. So we multiply the longer side by what? The breadth. That is all that we want to do today. But in actual sense, we have length, breadth, length, and what? And breadth. But the formula is denoted by saying that area of a rectangle is equal to length times the breadth. Okay, that is good. I believe that we've gotten something there. So let's look at an example. Given this, okay, we have 8 centimeters and here giving us 3 centimeters. We want to use the formula and see. This is just by using our knowledge in counting and other things and how the formula came by. Okay, so by using the formula now, we have 8 centimeters, 3 centimeters. So what shape do we have there? We have a rectangle. And the formula is saying that whenever you are given a rectangle, multiply the length by the breadth. Okay, so when I come, all the time, quote your formula. Quote your formula. That is the best thing to do as a mathematician. Okay, so I have area of a rectangle is equal to length times the breadth. Don't be lazy with that. Then the length here is giving us 8 centimeters. The breadth is also giving us 3 centimeters. Okay, so here our knowledge in multiplication, 8 times 3, which is 8 adding to itself 3 times. So we get 24. Okay. Then we have centimeter times centimeter. Remember in algebra, grade 7s, we learned that when a variable multiplies a variable, it is the variable squared. Okay. So here we have centimeter times centimeter. Here in this case, it is centimeter is the unit. Okay. So we have centimeter. How many times are they multiplying themselves? 2. So centimeter squared. So we can specifically now say that the area of this particular rectangle, which is this whole space, the amount of space within the perimeters of the given shape. So the given shape here is a rectangle. The amount of space is given as 24 centimeter squared. I believe we are getting something. Okay. Then through this, someone may also ask, okay, what of if I am given the area and I have to look for either the length or the breadth? Can something like that be done? Yes, the answer is yes. But in any case, I always advise, quote your formula and make sure that your work presentation is nice. But before we go to that, I would like you to try this example. Okay, given, sometimes it will also come in a form of a word problem, but don't worry about that. We have 12 centimeters and here to be 20 millimeters. Yes, someone may ask that, why did you do your example in centimeters? You are giving us an example in centimeters and millimeters. Yes, you did your conversion table, and also you did length in grade 6, and I believe that grade 7s you still remember. Fast forward, I believe that you've been able to do something about this. So fast forward, let's look at how we are going to solve this. Okay, I am asked to quote my formula all the time. So area of a rectangle is equal to the length times breadth. Quoted. Okay, then from here I do substitution. Wherever I see L, which represent the length, I put what? 12 centimeters. Wherever I see the breadth, I have to write 20 millimeters. Okay, so L is 12 centimeters times the breadth. The breadth is 20 millimeters. But one thing that we have to do here is that always make sure that your units are the same. So here, instead of writing 20 millimeters, okay, here I have got 12 centimeters. Here is 20 millimeters. Then I have to ask myself, how many millimeters will give me what? 1 centimeter. Okay, so I know that 10 millimeters will give me what? 1 centimeter. So if this is the case, and I have 20 millimeters here, then it means that here is going to be, if more, let's divide. So 20 divided by 10 will give us what? 2. So 2 centimeters. Okay, so it means that the 20 millimeters should be what? Converted to centimeters, or you convert the 12 centimeters also to millimeters, then you work with it. Okay, so in this case we have 2 centimeters. I've converted this one. Good. Then moving forward, 12 times 2 will give us 24. Then centimeter times centimeter, once again, centimeter squared. Good. Well done. If you were able to do it, if you were not able to do it, at least this is a guideline, whether it is given in centimeters, meters, millimeters. Please refer to your conversion table and convert to same units before you move on. Okay, so fast forward. Let's look at this other example. Someone asked a question that what if you're given the area and maybe the length or the breadth is not given? What do you do in that particular instance? It is simple. Okay, so the area of a rectangle, this is the question that I'm quoting. The area of a rectangle is, let's say, 24 centimeters squared. Yeah, we've done the same thing, so we want to check if we will be right or wrong. Okay, the area of a rectangle is 24 centimeters squared. The length is given as 12 centimeters. What is the breadth? Or calculate for the breadth. Okay, so in this particular question, if I'm putting my formula, area of a rectangle is equal to length times breadth. I've quoted it right. Then the area is given as 24 centimeter squared. Good. The length is given as 12 centimeters. This is an equal sign, okay? But the breadth was not given. Okay, so here we use our knowledge in equations, and not only equations alone, but we will also use our knowledge in cube roots and other things. Okay, so let's see. In this particular instance, from how I understand this, if 12 multiplies a particular number in algebra, we get 24. What is that number? Okay, so if we are looking for that number, remember in algebra we said that if a number multiplies a variable, it becomes what? This one, 12 multiplied by b, will be 12b. Okay, so not going to algebra here. All that we have to know is that if we multiply this by this, we get that. And if we multiply 12 by b for us to get this, then it means that if we divide everything here by 12, we should get b. Okay, so we will say that all this divided by 12 centimeters, here also divided by 12 centimeters. I believe we understand that. Okay, because we are multiplying this by this to get that. So if we divide this by that, we should get the b. Okay, 12 centimeter cancels 12 centimeter. We've got b alone, because 1 times b is still what? B. All variables are having a coefficient of 1, remember. Okay, then 12 goes into 24 how many times? 2 times. Okay, centimeter squared, so this is more or less the same thing as saying centimeter times centimeter divided by centimeter. So we are saying that centimeter times centimeter divided by centimeter. Okay, so that one cancels that one, we are left with a centimeter. Okay, so centimeter, meaning that b is equal to 2 centimeters. The breadth of the rectangle is equal to 2 centimeters. Good, that's good. So let's quickly move to perimeter. Perimeter, as we said, is the distance around the shape. The distance around the shape. So the same shape that is given here, we've been given this shape. According to the question, here is 24 centimeter squared, and we are given the length as 12 centimeters. But the good thing is that we've been able to calculate for what? The breadth. So the breadth is also 2 centimeters. There are times that the question will be given to you this way, that the area of a rectangle is 24 centimeters squared, the length is 12 centimeters. Find its perimeter. That means that in actual sense, you have to calculate for the breadth before you can calculate for the perimeter. Okay, so how do we find the perimeter? Remember that we have length, and we have breadth. Okay, we have length. So in some books we see that perimeter is equal to length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. It's the same thing, don't worry. Other books also we see that, as I move on I'm going to explain. Other books also we see that since length plus b, remember that in algebra you cannot add l plus b. Okay, but we can add l plus l. So all variables are having the coefficient of 1. So l plus l will give us what? 2l. Plus b will also give us 2b. So some will go by using that formula, you get an answer. Some will go by using this formula, you will get an answer. And some will also use the distributive method or the distributive property. So instead of going that way, the person will say that, okay, 2l plus 2b, so I can take out the 2, then we have l plus b, which is the same thing. 2 is multiplying l, so 2l, plus 2 is multiplying b at the same time, so 2b. We get back to the same thing. So within the 3 formulas that we have here, you can use any of them, then you do your substitution. Okay, so let's look at by using one of them and see if it will help. Okay, so I've got p. I'm a mathematician, I don't want to bluff that I know a lot, so I go by using this formula. Okay, so L here is what? 12 centimeters plus B is 2 centimeters. So I'm going according to as the person walks around that particular shape. Okay, the netball court. Plus 12 centimeters again, plus 2 centimeters again. Okay, quick forward. 12 plus 12 will give us 24, plus 4 will give us what? 28. So we have 28. In this case, please, the difference is this. when we were looking for the area, we were multiplying. That is why we had centimeter squared. In this case, we are adding, so it will still be in centimeter. Don't make a mistake and say that centimeter, 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 centimeter. So centimeter exponent 4. No, it is still not centimeters. 28 centimeters. So the person is walking around a netball court, and the person will cover a distance of 28 centimeters. Okay, let's take one of the formulas also and see if we will get the same thing. I've got 2L plus B. Okay, so 2 out, L here is 12 centimeters plus 2 centimeters, as we all know. 2 times 12 will give us what? 24 centimeters. Don't forget the unit is very important. 2 times 2 will give us 4 centimeters, of which everything gives us 28 centimeters. Okay, so that is it for the area and perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, as I told you, always know the properties of the shapes that are given to you, and also know your formulas. The formulas are not difficult, just concentrate. Follow me on YouTube and also on Facebook. Math is fun, and we'll walk through the journey together. So the area and perimeter of a square is also given under the YouTube description. The link is there, and also we'll continue with area and perimeter of a triangle.